Start streaming. All right. So today we have a Mercedes E350. We're going to be doing everything minus the windshield. With the windshield, minus the windshield. It was a back and forth debate. We're not doing the windshield. We're going to do 35 C2 ceramic and 20%. Let's make sure our stuff. Select live source. Okay. Activate selected. That should work. And then what's up, TikTok? Is it working? Yep, it's working. All right. Well, let's go. Thank you. Yes, hello. Perfect. It is working. I just swapped out my hose minutes ago. Now we have clean water. The soap had been building up in the lines, so I got to change out the other side. So that's going to happen next. But in the meantime, let's swap out some blades to get started. We're going to tape seals, find the roll of film, and do everything that I probably should have done already. How often do you have to change out those lines? So we put them up a year ago. I'm actually not used to changing the lines, but looks like tint slip will eventually build up in the lines. I'm used to scrubbing it out, but also if you just, don't leave your soap solution sitting in there forever. So I just flush it, maybe once a week. I always disconnect my lines. Yeah. If you actually do general maintenance, they should be fine. I don't. I just leave the slip solution sitting. And then a year goes by and I wonder why I had a dirty window the other day. All right, so blades swapped. I've got a couple new tools too. Fusion sent these. We just ordered them. They made a mini bulldozer and then an actual orange bulldozer. So we'll check those out. We have a few new, we got the color handles now. So if you like the shorty 5 handle, then we have them in ketchup and mustard. Why does it take me 9 hours to tint a car? I just started. You're brand new to tint, right? That's why. Oh, where's the key? Let's grab that. And then we got tape, covers. It's my B-Day. Happy B-Day. So we're gonna roll these down. Let's just do these one at a time. We'll start with the front doors, then we'll do the back doors.
Please log in with your profile. I'm waiting.
Whoa. The car wanted me to log in with my profile. It's waiting. How do you know what squeegee to use? You can pick whatever squeegee blade you want, really. Anything from a medium hardness and up. So if you look at the squeegees, they'll kind of say. The soft ones are just used for cleaning. But basically, you can't go wrong with most of the squeegee blades. So we got some felt, you see this? And look at how much, why do they block it off like this? So we're gonna take some tape, and what we're gonna do is tape that and trap all that felt from getting into my work. I'm mainly just worried about the stuff on the sides, like right here where the film gets kind of folded for the 2-stage. Roll that up. But that's kind of annoying because it just makes it like way more annoying to try and tuck into up here. We'll roll the window down to here, and then even then, kind of annoying. Let's go tape the other side. What's your thoughts on the Workhorse 1? I like the Workhorse 1 better overall than the Workhorse 2. The Workhorse 2 looks better, and I don't really have any complaints. What I liked about the Workhorse 1 was the catch basket setup. It just worked a lot better. The catch basket on the Workhorse 2 is higher. It's closer to the machine, so your material tends to get binded up. So then I'll just drop the catch basket. I won't even use it. But for the money and just like you're getting the same type of cuts, the machine just doesn't look as nice. That's all. Would spraying more soap in the corners and side be better than using the tape? No, not necessarily, because this is felt. So felt will just start to break off into tiny little pieces. This is a Mercedes E250 or 350, one of the two. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. 350, a Mercedes E350. Yeah, cheap car, okay. Is the purpose of the tape to stop the tint from folding? No. It's creating a brand new seal. So, if you were painting a house and you use painter's tape on the edge of a wall, what do you think it's for? Same premise here. We're using tape to help keep our work clean. Keep it out of the sides. Or keep all the dirt from the sides from bleeding into our work. Is there ever a window that has no contamination after tinting it? Yeah, after I tint it, duh. Why do you think they brought it here? I thought it was an Accord. You remind me of like that Malibu commercial. Then all you've ever seen is Accord and nothing ever else. Shut up. This reminds me of an Accord. Remember that old Malibu commercial? We took the badges off of the old new Chevy Malibu and we showed it to everybody. Is this a Lexus? Yes, you idiot. It's a Lexus. What type of tape are you using? I'm using our Seal Guard. Yeah, masking tape does get wet and it falls off. This is not that. So I'm running the water through my line. See, now it's all soapy. That's what I want to see. Fresh as can be. Why would my meter measure factory glass on a Jeep and a Tesla with 70% IR rejection? Because there's some sort of actual ceramic there. Or you've got a crappy meter, which is both entirely possible. So Tesla, if you're metering like the roof, yes, they do have something there. If you're metering the side glass, then typically no. So then that would make me think it's a bad meter. I don't like the meters for IRR. But UV and VLT they're great for. It's not that they can't give you some indication. I just wouldn't take an IR rating as like 100% this is exactly accurate. But yeah, it's definitely more than nothing. Yes, it was both on the driver's door on both. Yeah. That makes me think it's more the meter than anything. You can, like, factory glass isn't nothing. There we go. I got my headphones back. Factory glass isn't nothing, though. It's just not a lot. If it's tinted factory glass, it does more. So, like, I've metered... Like, I've taken, like, BTU meter, in my opinion, is a little bit better. Because it's giving you, like, an actual heat rating. But yeah, automotive glass does something. Factory glass does something. I mean, just sit in the car, face the sun, roll up and down the window, and see if you feel a difference. You'll feel something. You're not going to feel as much. What is this? This is 35. Okay. It just looks like because I got white on the seats right now. Ever tried Lumar? Yeah, my first film was Lumar. Like, actually, no joke. Lumar ATC was what I got started on. I always get creases on the edge between the glass and the rubber and two-stage tinting. It's definitely tricky to learn. But you should be able to heat them out. So if the fold isn't bad, like if you pressing hard, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be pressing very hard. And you still can get a bend there pretty often. But you take a heat gun, warm that spot up, and then press it out, and it's gone. What do you think about flex film? When I used it, there were too many inconsistencies and issues. I have zero issues with Reno, considering GeoShield because of the hype. I wouldn't just, like, switch film purely because of hype. I think a lot of people can make something seem, like, amazing and unreal, but in reality, they haven't tried anything else, and maybe what they were using before was terrible. So when you go from, like, terrible to amazing... you're going to see a lot of people speak really positively about it. And, like, I love the films, and I wouldn't use anything else. But if you're already using a film that you like, and then you switch over to a different film, you're generally not going to be, like, overly enthusiastic about that film because you didn't have any problems to begin with. And so a new film... isn't necessarily going to be night and day difference. But Reno, I think, is a lot harder or more rigid of a film. I heard that from another tinner not too long ago. Somebody who's used a lot of different films used Reno for a day because he went to somebody else's shop and was just, like, really surprised with how different of a film it was, just, like, construction-wise. That would be the only difference. So Geo might be more user-friendly for you is all. But yeah, I'm not going to... I mean, like, yeah, get Geo, come on, you piece of shit. Like, I don't know. I noticed when you were shrinking the side windows, you hold the film rather than heat up the fingers and squeegee it out. What's the reason? Ooh, I like that question. Yeah, so I do... a method called snap shrinking. Sorry, I got another question that I want to answer too. So, but when we get to heat shrinking, very shortly on this one, I'll show the differences. At the classes, we will teach shrinking individual fingers first, and then introduce snap shrinking afterwards, depending on how people are going or if they just want to see snap shrinking. Snap shrinking is not really super advanced, but it's a little harder to wrap your head around. But somebody asked about, like, what are your thoughts or rating about Lexan 1 to 10? What I hate about Lexan is how misleading the film has been for a lot of people. But for some people, it's been great. So if you want just like a budget carbon film, yeah, it's like incredibly tough to beat. You're saving a lot of money. And like it is a carbon film. The Pure Max, I think, is their best value. Their more expensive ceramic is literally the same price as like C2 ceramic. And then their cheaper carbon and cheaper ceramics, both are incredibly hazy and they don't shrink very well. So for getting like a cheap roll of film and practicing on doors, that's totally fine. For learning how to shrink, that's what kind of throws a lot of people off. Like I see a lot of people just like blanketly recommending it, but it's just not a super great film to practice on for back windows and windshields. It's kind of like learning at the deep end of the pool. So it's not that you have to buy an expensive film. It's that you can buy just a dyed film, learn how to shrink, save money, and then use whatever film that you want afterwards. I had Lexan on one of my cars for 4 years, and it's still holding up. Shrinking, you need to be pretty good for curvy windows. Nice. Yeah, I'm not going to talk personally about like how long it's going to last, because I don't know. I mean, I'm used to, if a film is really cheap and promising the world, then that film is likely to fail. But more for me, I don't like the haziness, except for the, what was it? The Pure Max. Pure Max was okay. I just didn't feel like anything else was a great value. Have you ever driven a Lamborghini? I haven't. I haven't even tinted one. Why do you guys watch me? Very slowly your work. I know. We'll get there one day, though. You probably already finished a car or two, so you can watch me and then finish another car while I'm talking about this one window. We just hit 100 5-star reviews after 4 years of opening my shop. Oh, congrats. That's super awesome. Are you leaving the tint on the outside? Yes. Oh, shrinking. Damn it. Okay. Why are we shrinking this way? I'm already kind of into it a little bit, but anyways. So you can segment all your fingers into like vertical fingers or whatever, and then shrink those individually. It's a more visual way of shrinking. What I do is snap shrinking, and so I lift the film, and I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just doing it a lot faster. So you pull the film off just the bottom of the glass. You leave it anchored. It's still anchored there on the side, so I don't pull it completely off. And then you take the heat gun, and you point it right at the bottom. You're not shrinking it a ton. Most people, when they first do this, they shrink it way too much. It's pretty quick. And what you're doing is you're just getting that bottom to curl inwards. And there isn't much visual way of seeing exactly what's happening. It just comes with a little practice, and you look for subtle changes in the film. But what you're doing is you're getting it to do this. So when I push down on it, now it snaps to the window. See all these little micro, like, stress lines? And then when I do this, so I get that same effect. If I shrink the individual fingers and then heat it up at the bottom a little bit, I get the same effect. I just get it way faster when I do this. I didn't come up with that. I learned from somebody that had been shrinking or had been tinting for a year, and he learned that from somebody else. I had been tinting for like 7 years before I was introduced to this. He came in, he was looking for a job. He wasn't necessarily an amazing tinter, but we were testing him out. And then we had him do some doors. He goes over to a glass board and puts it on there, takes a heat gun to it. I'm like, well, what the hell did you just do? And he's like, I shrunk it. I was like, that works? Mind blown. And so I learned how to do that, and I've been doing that ever since. Doesn't it fail faster if it's on the outside? He did get the job, and he worked there for a few years. And then he showed up late and then got into arguments with the owner, and he eventually got fired. The end. Doesn't it fail faster if it's on the outside? Yes, it's free removals at 65 miles an hour. Best way to prep? Good question. We're right here. We haven't touched the inside of the glass yet. We're going to prep this for installation. So I'm going to start with the window up because I need to install it with it down. So I'm going to just spray that. We're going to take a 1-inch razor blade. I have a sticker here. This is going to be bladed off. And then we're going to scrape any residue that might be there. 360 protection. Oh, we're being spied on. I figured. And then we're going to scrape the bottom. Just swiping the edges. They're a little bit deeper, so I'm just going to rough up what's ever there. And then I'm going to roll this down so I can get at the top edge. Now, we've got quite a bit of film to tuck into this corner, so I'm going to roll it down just a little bit farther. I usually leave the windows a little bit higher, but whatever makes it a little easier on me to two-stage, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to scrape the rest of the glass. And then we're going to wipe off the top edge of the window here. And then we're going to squeegee it. Swipe the sides. Spray. And then we're ready to install. That's all we do for prep. Most of your dirt comes from installation. It's a hard squeegee. I'm gonna go back to my hybrid. It's been a while. Do you not use the orange crush? If I was using the orange crush for a while, it wasn't for all that long. Contaminant City window tint. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so dirty. Tell me it's a joke. No, it says 360 protection. It's a new Mercedes E-Class. I can almost guarantee you there's like 360 surveillance cameras on this thing. Probably like in the mirrors and stuff. Like all the Teslers. We love Tesla. Good, good, good. See how that's nice and close? No, you can't. There. You want to see how that's nice and close? Look at that. Look at how nice that looks. Let's make sure we're tucked into the sides. Tucked. Tucked. Does folding... Okay, so I had to tuck this a fair amount. And you see this right in here? You want to be careful with this. We're probably going to get a small bend there, but we're going to put some heat and we're going to fix it. What I'm not doing is taking it and folding it like flat against it. I roll it in, so it's got like a tight curve here, and then I stuff it into the sides. What percent? This is 35. Any tips for small bubbles on Mustang windshields and back windows? Not anything specific to those. So you're not just playing with me, you did cut the pattern and put it on the inside. What? What? Excuse me, this channel has zero sarcasm. Can I get 5% in front? Yeah. Why stop there? Why not go 2? Go 2%. Come on. Darker. Why don't they make a 25% ceramic tint? I don't know. They suck. That's why. They need to. There's too many vehicles that have a 25% factory match would be perfect. 30, 25. Give me an in-between shade. I don't care if you only make it available in 24-inch rolls. Just do that, please. I would love it. What's the best place to get tint from? I don't know, because it was written on the board and now it's erased. So people don't know where to go to buy tools and film. I bet I know who erased it, though. Oh, yeah, we'll write it on the board. I know somebody that wants the front windshield tinted, but they already have PPF on it. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a problem.
Is it? It'll stick to a problem.
So, you know, I don't even think Glass Aid is a good idea. I don't know. I know somebody that had the same situation with Flexi Shield. They used Glass Aid and trimmed everything out, and then they go to remove Glass Aid, and it pulled like the hard coating off of the Flexi Shield. So you could probably Sharpie it and trace your pattern that way, but shrinking over PPF, that would be a first. I don't think you're really gonna damage it, but you're probably gonna have the film do maybe something weird. I feel like it'd be worth a shot, but I'm with you. I wouldn't want to spend $900 on replacing it. Do you get in trouble on TikTok for putting your store in the chat? Yeah, probably. TikTok doesn't like it. But we also have TikTok Shop. So what's cool about TikTok Shop, though, is that you guys can buy the tools through TikTok Shop if you want. And TikTok throws around a lot of, like, discounts. So we can't put the film on there, but I don't care. Buy tools either place.
There you go.
Hey, where can you buy? Ah, shit, I'm gonna ruin this. There it is. I zoomed in. 313 Tint. .TikTok shop. That's what. 313 Tint. TikTok shop. That's what that says. That's the abbreviation for TikTok shop. Can you put darker tint on existing tint? Yeah, you definitely can. If you go to a shop, though, expect them to maybe say no. Or if they do it, not offer any type of warranty with it. Tint isn't guaranteed to work that way, but it absolutely does work fine for most situations. It's just from like a, hey, if you have an issue with it, we can't really help you out. Hey, dude. What's up, Sheriff? Are you Woody? You got Panda? It's pretty cool. That is Baby Matt. Why do you heat on the outside? So remember how we had some type of a fold in here? I'm trying to find it right now. But there's usually one here somewhere on the front. And I'm trying to find that too as well. I think right in here. I can't really see any issues though. So that's good. Oh, a little bit right here. So we're going to heat up this area slowly. This is glossy black plastic. Don't overheat that. Take a tool, block it, or just quickly keep your heat gun, pull it away. Quickly heat gun, pull it away. You can heat it up. You can let it dry out. You don't have to try and touch that up immediately. Why not shrink from the inside after and target those fingers? You haven't done that before, have you? Yeah, why not do it the hard? Yeah, exactly. So, few things. Somebody mentioned melting the panel. That's one. Two, I've got lots of, like, the thing I actually need to heat up is inside this seal. It's not outside. So I'm basically trying to melt this and heat up the glass to get to it, where I can just directly heat up the spot here and then touch it up. All you're trying to do is warm up that spot. You're not trying to shrink the tint further. But anytime water is there, hey, no. We don't want to push that around here. Be careful, please. Thank you. What's the difference between all geofilms? The difference is Pro Classic dyed film. C2 carbon is a carbon film. C2 ceramic has the same carbon, and then they add a layer of ceramic to it. Pro Nano is an alternative to C2 ceramic. It's a dyed ceramic. And then Apex is 2 layers of ceramic with the same carbon base as C2 carbon. So if we look up front, do you guys want to see the display boards? Can we show those quick? I like these. We got the new Geo display boards. So we have C2 carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex. So this is a carbon film. This is a carbon film with 1 layer of ceramic And this is a carbon film with 2 layers of ceramic, making it a super ceramic. So, good, better, best. And look. Hang on. Let me turn this. Oh my God, the button's in a bad spot. There we go. And look. They turn on. Oops. I pulled on it. And now I broke it. I guess I gotta fill with this again. That's annoying. Oh, there we go. Hey, they work. These are super cool. These are just magnetic. They come off, so you can take the shades, take them outside, pop them back on. They're sick. I like them. I gotta fix the wiring on that. Tinta Ultima and Super Ceramic. I could. I just have to then untint it when it gets time for the class. It gets kind of annoying. All right, so let's take this. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, this was going well. Yeah, that's not good. See this? See this guy right here? I'm gonna point him out. I'm gonna point him out right there. Little crinkle right here when I was tucking it in. That I could get it. I could hide this on the outside. I could press the air out and basically make it invisible. But then when he's driving, he's going to see that on the inside. And personally, I wouldn't like it. So we're going to go back to that one. We're going to roll it down. And we're going to start over. A little annoying because we took off the tape and everything. But that's okay. Maybe you'll get away with it. It's true. Maybe. But it's one of those, like, it's a little long. And it's in a spot where you would, like, you're looking all the time. So every time he looks over to change lanes or in his mirror, it's like you're likely to see it. I just don't like that. So we're not going to make him live with it. I can take another 10 minutes right now, peel it off, redo it, feel better about it. Yeah, it bugs me. Don't get me wrong, I've let shit go. Sometimes you just don't have time for everything. And you make the best out of it. But we have time. We're going to make it right. I'm not perfect. Yeah, this is the real tint knife. And then watch, we'll mess it up again, and then I'll feel especially bad because then I'll feel like a hack. Oh, it looks so nice, too. Only Jesus is perfect, but Matt's a step under perfect. Oh, is that JC? What's up, man? Wow, there goes my roll. Crease City. There was a crease in there. We didn't like it. Oh, hey, I got your Shopify message. Just come here for a day. You don't have to take the class. Just, like, come out. We'll tint something. Was that Super Ceramic? That was C2 Ceramic. Yeah, so the 3-day class is most helpful for people that are like a couple weeks into tinting, inside of like, I'd say up to a year. Other than that, it's like we're bouncing around helping people out. So I'd say it's like, it's less structured in that way. It's like we're working on doors for a while, then we're heat shrinking doors. And it's like, it's all stuff that you're familiar with. So just as a whole, paying for the class and taking it with everybody would honestly might feel a little bit like a grind. That's all. But yeah, like, come out here. We can pick a day, and then we can probably tint something. But we can't take a broom to the side of somebody else's car. Oh, but yeah, I still meant to post this. He sent me another Texas Roadhouse gift card. See, I hung it up. Thank you. We haven't used that one yet, but we will. You really didn't have to do that. Appreciate it. Yeah, no brooms. You don't like shrinking the side windows? I do like shrinking the side windows. I just gave a tutorial about it on the last one. We gotta get the pattern first, and then we can shrink it. What do you recommend for tint that doesn't stick anymore? Replace it. There's nothing that you can do to fix any adhesive. For example, in the corners. Yeah. So, if tint gets bunched up or crinkled or whatever, it's just not going to stick. Should I get it done professionally, or am I able to do it myself? Oh, to tint your own car? Everybody's different. Generally, people... Like, if all you're after is just, like, a nice tint job on your own car, then just take it to somebody. Because you have to buy film, you have to buy tools. You're already into it, like... I don't know. The price of an entry-level tint job. So you might as well just, like, bring it to somebody. But if you want to learn on your own car and then start doing other people's cars, then by all means, get some film, get some tools, start practicing, because that's what it takes. What's the difference between all GeoShield films? I just talked about it some. So they have 5 different films. I use 3 of them. I use C2 carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex. C2 carbon is just a carbon film. The darker you get, the more heat that it blocks, because carbon blocks some heat, and they color it with that same carbon. So the more carbon that they add, the more heat that it blocks. It's pretty cool. Now, ceramic also blocks heat. So C2 ceramic is that same carbon film with a layer of ceramic. And ceramic blocks heat in light or dark shades. So you can go as light as 70% and still block out even more heat than the carbon does. And then Apex, that is a dual layer ceramic film. So it's got 2 layers of ceramic in a single film. So it's basically like double ceramic tinting your car. It's just to be on like the bleeding edge of heat rejection. C2 ceramic, which is what we're installing now, is our most popular. great bang for your buck there. Is there more clarity? No, I think there's just more clarity with like a good film. I hear that from people sometimes though, where they like swear a ceramic film is more clear. I mean, I only drive around with ceramic because if I'm gonna spend the time to tint my car, I'm gonna do what I like the best. But I've like had each of the films on my car for like a certain length of time. It's just been a while. Any of them can be good. I think ceramic has some low angle haze. Yeah, any carbon or ceramic film will have like some, but they're so minor now that it's not really noticeable. Also, laminated glass also has a little low angle haze to it too. So like this. No, this is a tempered one. This isn't. I was just going to point out like a glass sandwich. Mercedes usually has laminated, but this one is not. Ceramics have gotten better to the point where it's like a non-issue. It used to be like a big issue, but they're just really only in the cheap ones now. They're a lot more user-friendly. There's a lot more availability. They've come down in price. Carbon has a weird brownish look. It just depends on the brand and the shade. It's more of a manufacturer thing. All right. Been watching since 2020. I always wondered why you never went to pre-cuts. Yeah, I pretty much never use pre-cuts on the doors because I can get a better cut more consistently myself. It's just finding the car, putting the roll on the thing, cutting it out, weeding it, and then finding out the cut isn't as good as what I could have made it. It hurts a little bit. So, but if I'm more for speed and I'm just trying to get a bunch of cars done in a day, then yeah, using a plotter is going to help out. Not really on just one person using a plotter. Does that make sense? How much is a roll of 5%? Of what? Ceramic, carbon? You can find out. You can go to 313tint.com. Okay, we're gonna be gentler with this one. So first step is we're gonna roll this up. We're not folding it hard, we're bending it, and then that makes it flat enough, and look how that tucked nicely into the seal. Next, we're gonna pull this back, and we're gonna do the same thing. Flatten this out against the side, roll this in, and we've like rolled it in, but it's not bent. Right? And then we slide that forward. And you get this to fan out. Oh, it's going to do that thing because it's got the top edge. Hang on. It's getting stuck here. There we go. Because I can't really flush back there too well. Nice. So you fan out the film, making sure my edges are covered. Go check this out. Line up our top edge. Now it's moving nicely. Spray. And then we're going to start squeegeeing this along the top edge. Get this to tack up nice and close. That's a nice top edge. Thank you. I try. I try my best. (1/32). No! It should be like a flea's hair. So, where we can have an issue is like, one, this is bent, but two, as it kind of like relaxes backwards and then we pull out the liner, you want to try and do it in a way that doesn't stress out that area too much. Because that absolutely can happen and you can put a pretty bad crease in it. But you know those folding phones? They don't just like fold, like this folds flat, but where the screen bends, it's like it's a roll. It's not like a tight crease. So that's what we're trying to do. And so when we pull this out, I'm almost gonna just like eke this forward with my fingers, right? Here, let me get a good view. And then I'm gonna start sliding that out. Just not trying to stress that out too much. Pull this out. And same thing with here. When you got speakers and stuff and you're tucked pretty far up, it's kind of hard to, like, you get this to kind of curl and roll that out without putting too much stress there. And then I'm just gonna rinse it. And then we're gonna start tucking it in. A narrow taper, yes. So we're gonna start with tucking this corner forward. Go here, tuck this corner in. And see, this is nice and flat, so it's going into the seal all nicely. And then we're gonna take this slack, we're gonna pick it up, pull back our seal, and continue to shuffle. So much easier to bottom load a Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. This is not the easiest technique to learn, but this is so I didn't have to take anything apart. But that also hurts me in another way. If you never take anything apart, then when you actually get into a situation where you should take something apart, you're less familiar with doing it, right? So, it's picking and choosing your battles. So, my younger brother, he's more familiar with taking out seals. Mark likes to take seals apart too as well. He'll pop them out all the time. I appreciate the differences. I just always force myself to do it this way, so I'm just way more familiar with it. So we're gonna wipe this off, check it over. Yeah, the Lexus people are talking about in chat. Ooh, not fun. I pop those seals out. For sure. All right, let's check it over. No more crease in this area. Yay. Amateur crease. The first time. You know, I used to get that all the time. Every once in a while, there'll just be like a weird issue that will come up that never happened before, that'll come up like all the time. That was one for me that used to happen constantly. It like wasn't an issue, and then one day it was, and then it just kept coming back. Until you break a $1,500 door panel. At least I can say I haven't done that. Ooh, that hurts. 4? Oh. Yeah.
And I was taking shoes off down here in the truck. No teaching ever.
Oh,
It was like,
Jesus.
I did it.
Oh, my God. That hurts. Yeah. Yeah, when you... when you do that, then you're more careful. Yeah. Yep. You can warn people. You can tell them about situations. Eventually, people are gonna make mistakes anyways. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. All right. So these areas here, this one and this one, that's where our bends were. So they created little fingers there. Heat them up, press them out. Also, another thing to remember is that they're like completely hidden behind a seal. So like even if it left a very small line, it's all completely hidden by a seal. That is one of the few things I can say. I've never had a client ever bring a vehicle back because I saw pinch point crease lines, and they were like, "What is that?" Never. You should be able to 100% make them invisible. Which car? This is a Mercedes E350. Spaceship. Look at those lights. Even after shrinking the film, I still struggle with fingers. Is there a fix? So, it might just be you need to double snap.
Please log in with your profile. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. What kind of... Who designed that message? Please log in with your profile. Okay, I'm waiting. Damn. Impatient car, huh? I wonder if it can hear me, though. Not very common to see an E350 where I am. Yeah, it wasn't very common for me either.
With your profile. Could you repeat that, please?
It does. Oh, it's listening. Hello, car. Hello, car? Car? Wait, why are you not listening to me now? Oh, I can't. You know what? I can't wait. I can't wait for the day till like Altima has an AI voice assistant of some type, just in an everyday car.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can just have funny conversations with them while we tint.
Yeah, like asking the questions.
I've never seen a car that has a built-in, like, that was just listening, because I thought it was weird, because I didn't hear it while I was on this side, and then when I walk over there, it told me it's waiting. See, when you get into this kind of stuff, cars start doing weird stuff. They have different features that you wouldn't expect. So you always got to be careful around anything like this. It's like, is there a module in the door that could fry? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Shit, dude. I was looking at your one-day class. I wonder how many people attend. They were limited to 2. We are currently revisiting the one-day thing. But yeah, they were for 1 to 2 people. And it was made as a way so people could come out here, learn heat shrinking, like whatever you want to do. So somebody stayed behind from our other class and they learned some flat glass stuff. We had somebody come out and learn about shrinking. Kevin Rogers trains like 6 people on his own. That's a lot. Yeah, I would max out at 6. 6 is what I was doing alone. And now we limit the class, like the recent ones we limited to 8, and we have like 2 to 3 instructors. But between like sheer space, outlets, because when you have like 8 heat guns all running at the same time, circuit breakers start popping, or we were okay on this last one. When you have 10 or 11 people here, circuit breakers start popping. Oh my God. Mercedes. Hello, Mercedes.
Yes?
Whoa!
Pardon, can you say that again, please?
What time is it?
It's 12:10 p.m.
Holy shit, it's talking to me. It's actually, I figured it out, guys. Mercedes. Hello, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Where's the nearest Starbucks?
Please log in with your profile. I'm waiting.
Oh, come on. Can you just order me a coffee? Coffee, please? Mercedes? Hello, Mercedes? Mercedes? No. Ugh.
Please log in with your... Excuse me, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said.
Can you order me a coffee?
Please log in with your profile. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my coffee. We figured it out, though. If you say hello, Mercedes. I like it. Where are you located? Sterling Heights. 18 and Mound. We're 10 miles away from M&M. That is.
Please log in with your profile. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Whoever is in charge of Mercedes voice, they need a meeting. I'm waiting.
Can you say that again, please?
I think Eminem made it in Detroit. Have you ever been to Mom's Spaghetti? No, we walked past it, though. It is literally like a hole in the wall in Detroit. It's like, it's kind of like off a main walking road, but it's just like way farther down, so there wasn't a lot over there. And then it's just like, oh, that's where it is. But we had already got some food, so. I saw it. I saw him in there cooking some spaghetti. I heard he shows up there, so, oh, I believe it. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you had your own restaurant place called Mom's Spaghetti and it was in a city that you loved and grew up in, of course you'd stop by there. I mean, he goes to Lions games and he'll be in the crowds screaming. I see TikTok videos of it. It gives people the middle finger. That sounds pretty great. Yeah, you can just be driving down 8 Mile and you just see him walking around. That's Eminem. Wait, no, it's not. right. Tack this there. I hope I got this one okay. This one's getting a little... What? No more orders. Are you maxed out or are you all done? Oh, they're all done. Really? You're done? You guys gotta keep my wife busy. She wants you guys to order more stuff. Keep her busy. Will tariffs affect your business? Probably. Tariffs make everything more expensive. If everything's more expensive, people can't spend as much money.
Prices can fluctuate due to various factors like inflation, supply chain disruptions, and changes in demand. It's essential to stay updated on economic trends and consider ways to manage your expenses effectively.
Mercedes is telling me about inflation.
Inflation refers to the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rises, eroding purchasing power. It's influenced by factors such as supply and demand dynamics, fiscal policies, and global economic conditions.
Hello, Mercedes. What percent tint would you
I'm
pick?
listening. How can I help?
What tint would you put on this car?
Sorry, something went wrong.
Is window tint legal? We're giving it things that is just making it stop. But it'll talk about inflation. It's trained on economics. Go figure. Could Mercedes rap for us? I can try and ask it. I'd be like, hey, Mercedes. But everything I keep asking it, it like stops. But if I tell it economic growth, then it's like, oh shit, yeah, let's talk about that. It's very political. Hello, Mercedes.
Yes?
What's the weather?
Please log in with your profile.
You're gonna talk to me about the economy and inflation, but you're not gonna tell me the weather unless I'm logged in? What are you? What can you do? I wonder if the customer's like getting a report on his
The
phone.
economy encompasses the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services within a society. Economic health can be assessed by various indicators such as GDP, unemployment rates, and inflation levels.
See what I mean? You won't tell me the weather, but you'll talk for like minutes about the economy.
I can't provide weather updates, but I can certainly share more about the economy. If there's anything specific you want to learn about the economy, feel free to ask.
Tell me everything you know about the economy.
The economy is a vast system that involves the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. It can be measured and analyzed through various indicators, including GDP, inflation rates, unemployment figures, and trade balances. Economic performance is influenced by factors like government policies, consumer behavior, technological advancements, and global market trends. If you have a specific aspect of the economy you'd like to explore, I'd be happy to provide more details.
Just keep teaching me about it. You pick a subject and go nuts. Yeah, but I ask it stuff like that, and then it just says I can't help you. But you ask it about the economy, and it's like, okay, let's go. I'm surprised. I thought it would just keep needing to be logged in. All right. Door window number 2. Done. We should probably tint like the rest of the car instead of talk about the economy. Did TikTok disconnect? Let's double check. Oh no, TikTok's still there. I'm thoroughly impressed. I bet that's part of their like sales. They just like, you can ask it about the economy, and then it's like not trained on anything else. The owner's like for sure getting like these notifications is fun, like 100%. They're just like, what are they doing? All right. I love tinting, but now we got tint plus Mercedes economy class. I'm excited for the future now. What's that website you mentioned? Yeah, 313tint.com. So 313 is the Detroit area code. I'm gonna go grab the key here. This car's too rich for me. Oh, there it is. Aha! We got the handle to come out. I didn't see the buttons blended in there. Okay. What's the tape for? So, the seals are felt, which means they're like little fabric bits. Those get wet, they leach into my work, and I don't like it. So we put tape over it. Would you suggest buying the 134 kit or the 164 kit? Which kit should they buy? What tool kit should they buy? The 134 or the 164? I need an answer. They're asking. Oh, she just left. Both. There we go. Buy both. Okay, so one of them is like for back windows and front windshields, and one of them is for door windows. So the 134 is a good all-around like door window and some back window kit. And you can figure out what is in the back window / windshield kit and ordered like a bulldozer or something like that. Go deeper into it. No, I just need to cover like the felt here. So see these little, this is all like fuzz. And then hear this? It's very sticky. And then we roll up the windows. So as I'm flushing the sides and tinting it, water drips back into my work, right? So what I'm doing is I'm covering it and preventing that from getting into my work. Any specific type of tape? So we use Seal Guard. It's actually our own tape, but it's like a really sticky, thin duct tape type of tape. It's got a really aggressive acrylic adhesive on it, and it's not masking tape, so it doesn't get wet and just like fall off, which is what I wanted.
To do that or something.
Whoa! How'd you do that?
I just did it. I have Illustrator, so I downloaded the drivers, and I'm trying to use the wrong mouse. But
What program?
I have Adobe Illustrator.
You can send it right from Illustrator?
So Illustrator, there's a Cutting Master 5, which is free from them. So it goes from here right into Cutting Master.
Yeah.
And then I just set it up and did a little test cut. And
Cool.
so
Heck yeah.
Print our own. We just need transfer tape.
Oh, I have it.
You do?
Actually, we got a bunch of vinyl up there somewhere or back there. It might be on that shelf.
Yeah, I think I know.
There's a whole box of like some different colored vinyls and transfer tape. How much was the machine? That was an expensive one. It's a Graphtec FC 9000. Any specific type of tape? Okay, yep. So now, what? This is 35C2. Do you sell that tape? We do. It's out of stock though, so my bad. House wrap tapes they're a little bit more expensive, but they're like what I was using before we had our own. So house wrap tapes are really aggressive acrylic adhesive tapes, and they're very thin and plastic. So instead of going to like the painter section in a hardware store, walk over to like the construction section of Lowe's and either Tyvek or Lowe's construction house wrap tape. Use either of those. Tyvek is Home Depot, Lowe's tape is Lowe's. Imagine waking up and being this guy. What a buzz my feelings. Hey, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, my guy. It's work. I'm really appreciative of it. But it was like, nobody gave me a roadmap for this. This is figure all this kind of shit out. A lot of guesses and like, I don't know, that might work. I feel crazy. Have you gotten a haircut? I did. I got one probably like a week or two ago now at this point. Dude, I go for way too long. I hate going for a haircut. I still do. I just like don't go for like 2 months and I'm like, all right, I like legitimately have to go. Yeah, they're around here somewhere. They gotta be. Watch, we threw it out last week. We're never gonna use this. I know Core has the ability to take SVG files, I think. I was using a program too called Vector Magic.
Oh, for cutting?
Yeah. Or no, for like converting, like you could take like logos and stuff and convert them into like vectorized cut files.
Yeah, you want to use Google ChatGPT made the AI file for me.
Wait, what?
ChatGPT built the initial file that I loaded into.
So you took the Adobe file, sent it to GPT?
No, GPT created the Adobe file. with the cut lines and everything for me. GPT created the building file. I downloaded it, opened it in Illustrator, then exported it.
What did you wait? So you just told it to make me a 313tint.com?
I explained to it what I was trying to do, and it's like, oh, well, I can make you the AI file, and I was like, oh, oh okay.
All right, that just got way easy.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So we could also just try loading it into Core too. I'm just curious because like.
Yeah, because it's a different file type that it's in.
It's not specifically that I wanted to use Core with it. It's just like I used to take in and dump files into Tint Tech 2020. And because Tint Tech 2020 is built on FlexiSign, same thing for film and vinyl. They're built on FlexiSign. So they'll just take those types of files and then you can resize them and cut them out. So it's just easy. So if you literally can just like, hey, I told ChatGPT to do this lettering. Yeah, that just makes it easy. That's awesome.
Just letters.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I tried GPT's image changer thing, and I gave it a picture of a non-tinted car and a tinted car, and I was like, tint the non-tinted car. And then it took a literal square and pasted it over half of the window. Good job, 10 out of 10. Please explain the difference between grades of tint and their best uses. Standard, nano, ceramic. Okay, so standard tint would just be considered like dyed tint. Some people might consider it carbon. It really depends on the shop, but in my opinion, like the most basic level is just polyester, glue, and coloring. So that would be like a dyed film. Carbon is really an alternative to dyed films. So Asian manufacturers really figured out that you can supplement dye with carbon and keep it still within a similar price point. That's why there's so many like cheap carbon films. But if you want a clear carbon film, you have to have really... Ah, shit, really? Yeah. We did have it. I know. All right, we got to start burning through some pages. I didn't think we had two. That's funny. And then when that one runs dry, we'll be like, did we have more? Yeah. Well, I've got it on stream now. We just got to remember. So... but back to carbon. Carbon's still an economical way of making film. It's just they supplement the dye with carbon, and the finer the carbon is, so they take actual carbon, they make it into nano-sized particles, and the finer those particles are, the clearer your film is going to be. So that's why you can have hazy carbon films, and you can have really clear carbon films. So carbon's a lot more stable. It's not going to purple, but it just might be hazy. But carbon also blocks heat. So the more carbon that you add, the more heat that your film will block. I can show you guys on the heat box. I can take the display off, and I'll show you the darker the carbon is, the more heat that it blocks. And then you have ceramic. Ceramic in and of itself is very light. So they actually have to add dye or carbon to make it darker. So that's where you get dyed ceramic films and carbon ceramic films. So the one that we're using right now is a carbon ceramic film. They're not necessarily better, they're just different. But ceramic will block heat in very light shades, along with very dark. So you can go with like 70, 80, 90% and still block out a lot of heat. Where in carbon, they only have typically up to 50% because it doesn't really make sense to make a carbon film in a super light shade because it's not really doing anything for you. But you'll see the term nano. Nano just means small. Some companies will say true ceramic or nano ceramic or just ceramic. They're all the same thing. There is nothing about one ceramic that's going to make it any more ceramic-y than another. It's just there's different grades of ceramic out there, and there's few different like types of like ceramic materials that they'll use, but where do I buy that roll protector? 313tint.com, or it's in the TikTok shop. It's called Panel Guard. 313.tiktok shop. Can we do 313tintttiktokshop.com? 313tiktok.shop. So that's like films in a nutshell, explained a little more in depth. The biggest difference between them is really going to be the heat that they block. A good film is going to be clear to see through. A film that's 5% is still, very dark. It'll be easy to see through during the day. And then if it's dark outside, obviously it's blocking out 95% of the light. So it's still dark. Tint looks the same on either side. It's just your car is not like illuminated on the inside unless you open the doors and the lights turn on. But if your doors are shut and the lights are off, there's no sunlight in there. So that's why the inside of your car always looks darker with it tinted and enclosed than it does when you're sitting looking outside of your car. Hey! That's cool. We can do anything.
You got all the tools. You don't have to spend any money.
We've just been sitting on the machine and the stuff.
I keep thinking about asking you, like, hey, can we have some of these made? And I'm sitting here like,
We've got
$8,000 plotter just chilling. And there's this extra vinyl from when Tint Waves guy was here.
Yeah. I hate when it does that. When it picks one point and then it sticks. But we got it. Yeah, that'd be good actually. Line up this top. Good. It's only like 3 years old. Do you ever clean off calcified hard water from a window, and how do you deal with that? I really don't see that. Especially like on the inside. On the outside, I pay a lot less attention to. So like if there's stains on the glass or something, I don't like, I'm tinting it, so I'm not doing anything to the outside. But you could get a hard water spot remover. They sell them at Walmart and a lot of other places now. They're typically like a little gritty compound, and it's just put it on a scrub pad or like they'll come with like a foam block, and you'll just kind of scrub it into the window, and it'll just take some time to work it out. Geosealed C2 Carbon or Pro Classic? If you want to save as much money as you can, Pro Classic. It's a great film. C2 Carbon's not much more expensive, but if you're just like learning, then it wouldn't hurt you to just use Pro Classic. Like a lot of people, they're more asking now about ceramic than ever before, but most people don't know anything about it. And if you just like, if somebody's just like, I just want my car tinted, most people don't even know there are different films and any of it matter. So they're just like, I'm just looking for tint. You're like, well, I have tint. And they're like, okay, how much? That's most people's biggest concern. Just like, okay, how much? like trying to sell different grades of white paint or black paint. It's like, you know, when you're walking down the paint aisle, you're like, what the fuck's the difference? I don't know. Aren't they all white? It's like, oh, some are more white than others and some are more higher quality, but it's like you just see the bucket. It's what it's like trying to sell to a customer. You show them a heat box and that usually helps. There are, though. I can go and I can buy like a $40 gallon of paint, or I can spend like $150 on a gallon of paint. What the fuck's the difference? I don't know. I'm not a painter. So I think to a lot of general customers, that's how we seem. Is like, what the fuck is he trying to sell me? Look at this bougie fucking person. Who does he think he is? Just a tinner. Like the barbers with a ring camera. Or not the ring camera, the ring lights. And then they live stream it. And then they charge $60, right? They hate us. What brand, type of carbon/ceramic do you recommend? Where can I buy a high-grade pre-cut window tint specific for my car? The only pre-cut site that I ever, like, worked directly with for a little bit was Tint Zoom. They have GeoShield kits that you can buy. Do you cut on the tape? Yes. What are your thoughts on Scorpion for training? Scorpion would be fine for training. A lot of people, well, I can't just say a lot of people. There are plenty of shops. Like, Scorpion is a brand. They're on the lower end of pricing for, like, a decent brand. There's guys that use them. Did we have... Was that from before? I don't know. Let's just cut one out here. Wouldn't the windshield suction cup mount on a tinted windshield mess up the tint? It can. I think it depends just on the type of suction cup. You have those really sticky, aggressive suction cups. That would, I almost guaranteed, like with a lot of heat during the day, like probably leave some sort of like discoloration or residue that would be impossible to remove. The more just like regular suction cup without any sticky would be way more okay. But it's probably a subtle thing, but over time you could probably have some dirt that kind of builds up around the suction cup, and with all the road vibrations, it might just start etching a slight ring into the tint. For the most part, it would be fine though. I'll put it this way. It wouldn't stop me from just putting a suction cup on my windshield. But if my windshield ever got messed up, I'd just retint it anyway, so... If I leave my iPhone mounted on a windshield, it overheats. Would clear windshield tint fix this issue? Yes, as long as the car was running and you're like driving around. If you just leave your car sitting out in the sun off, then your car will still get hot. Your dash won't get quite as hot, but your windshield, like, so what happens is like these are not just repelling. They're not really repelling heat away from your car. what they're doing is they're acting like a sponge. They're absorbing it. Some of that heat is dissipating off of the glass outside as, wind just passes by. So when you're driving, it's especially effective. Or when your interior air is running, it's especially effective. Yep, slowing heat transfer down is exactly what you're doing. So if you wanted to keep the interior as cool as possible, you would reflect all that heat away. But that's not exactly legal? Question mark? There's generally like more issues with reflective films. They just like, they're so uncommon and they stand out more. So if you did a reflective film, you'd get more likely to be pulled over for something like that. But it would do a better job overall of keeping your car cool. Ooh, $5 super chat. Thank you. I feel like I've been way too picky with my work. What's a threshold or determination for how much contamination is acceptable? Dan Tints. Thank you for the 5. I really appreciate that. It's just tough because there isn't there's IWFA rules, but they don't really mean anything. An upset customer is an upset customer. So if somebody looks at your work, they see something and they're not happy with it, generally the best thing to do is just try and fix it for them. And you can kind of, you can be polite about how you explain it. So you're just like, window tint, not perfect, unfortunately, but I totally get it. That type of issue would drive me crazy too. I'm going to retint this and I'm trying to make it look as good as I can. And if you take care of people that way, they see that you're not just trying to write them off. But there isn't some sort of hey, there's 3 specks in this window that is completely acceptable because an institution said so or whatever. It's just you can have your own internal policies, you can have your own rules, you can have your own acceptable rates or whatever. Basically, it's typically up to an angry customer. But what you always want to do is if you're just well, I don't know if they'll think this is okay or not. You want to take away any big imperfections. So if you just look at a window overall and there's no patches of dirt, there's no lines, there's no creases, there's nothing major that stands out, then you probably did a good job. And you should move on to the next window. I see people, they get way too close. They overthink everything, and they'll touch a window up to the point where they're going to ruin it. It's like a baby blue action. I know, it is. It's a baby orange crush. Slightly wide. So I'm just trimming it. Come on. There we go. See? Just that little bit. Bye-bye. That was a nice edge to be able to trim on like that. Thank you, Mercedes. Appreciate you. But yeah, I'm typically overcritical on my own work. I still have people that will point something out from time to time, so I'll have to redo something. I mean, especially because I'm on here and I talk about taking my time and quality and stuff. So then I attract people that are somewhat obsessive about quality and stuff, and then that bites me in the butt. So that kind of sucks. All right, so let's tape the other side. We got this piece here. That was for the other door. We had a glass aid roll. Where did I put that? Did I throw it out? Did I put it somewhere? I don't know where I put it. I'm going to go grab another one. Is it okay to stack tint? Yes. I would do it on my own car. And it would be fine. It's something that, like, if you want to go to a shop and get it done, some places will definitely do it. They just will do it without any type of warranty. So it'll save you money on having to have, tint removed, which is nice. Oh, there you are. Do you think it's worth it switching from GeoShield from... Do you think it's worth switching to GeoShield from Supernova? That's an interesting question. I mean, I kind of did. But, like, if the film is working for you and you don't have any issues, it's always like, when you're thinking about that kind of stuff, it's always nice to compare options. So, like, you could pick up a half roll and you could play around with it and see how you like it. I think that is kind of like the better route. Then you kind of know, hey, what is this film like versus this other film? I think the bigger difference between those films would be ordering through Geo versus ordering through Sun Distributing, which wouldn't be a huge difference because they both have really good customer service. It's just kind of branding at that point. I know both films will be great, so. Yeah, Supernova is from Sun Distributing. They have, their film line is called Helios. They have Orbit and, like, Supernova. Nova and Supernova. Have you ever tried dry shrinking a back glass or windshield? Sorry, it's like literally every back window or windshield that we do ever is like always dry shrunk. Yes, I do. We're gonna do it once we get to this back window, so stay tuned. On this guy, would you recommend C2 or Pro Nano? So C2, go with C2 Ceramic now. I was a long-time Pro Nano user. I still like the film. The biggest issue was coloring in a couple of shades, so 35 was kind of warm, 5% was kind of warm. But it beat C2 for a long time on performance. But now it's to the point where they're close enough that it doesn't matter near as much. So if you want like a little better performance, Pro Nano is just going to block out a little bit more heat. But what we've done is we've made C2 Ceramic our mid-grade now. So we have C2 Carbon, C2 Ceramic, and then Apex. So Apex beats Pro Nano, where it used to be Pro Classic, C2 Carbon, and then Pro Nano. And then we called around and realized that everybody has dropped prices on ceramic altogether. So we felt left out of the club. When you snap shrink, what are you looking for to tell you that everything is well? All right, just for you. I'm going to show you right now. Because this one was snap shrunk. So what I want to look for is snap shrunk should do this. Seal up right along the bottom edge. If I squeegee it, it should just lay flat. All you're doing is you're shrinking the window. And it's just a little different.
If there's something specific you'd like to know, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
I can't think of like a single question other than economic stuff to ask this AI. Don't tell me how to drive. Okay, why is it... Car, why are you blinking red at me?
Add more context or specify what you're referring to with lines. This will help me assist you better.
This thing's got an ear for economic questions and phrases. Hello, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Do you work for the government?
Sorry, something went wrong.
Something went wrong. See, it can't answer that, but it'll tell you everything about the economy. Like, I can't ask it the weather. It wants me to log in for that. Hello, Mercedes.
I'm listening.
What's the largest animal?
The largest animal in the world is the blue whale. These magnificent creatures can reach lengths of up to 100 feet and weigh as much as 200 tons.
What's the smallest animal?
The smallest known animal is the bumblebee bat, also known as Piggy's hog-nosed bat. This tiny mammal weighs about 2 grams and measures around 1 inch.
It's got animals.
Sorry, something went wrong.
Hello, Mercedes.
How can I help?
What should I eat today?
Choosing what to eat can depend on various factors like your dietary preferences, nutritional needs, and what's available to you. If you're looking for something healthy, consider a balanced meal of vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. Remember to enjoy your meal and listen to your body's needs.
Like, gave me an answer. I thought I wasn't going to say anything. General trivia. All right. Basketball. I wouldn't even know for basketball. How does Apex shrink? Apex shrinks well. Shrink it slower, though. So, something to keep in mind when you're shrinking any film, and I didn't really notice this for a long time. Film will shrink a little past where you see it shrink. So if you have a heat gun pointed at it, you see it shrink down some, you take the heat gun away. Some films will hold on to that heat and continue to shrink a little bit. So if you just kind of pay attention to like all the bigger fingers and stuff, you'll see them sink down just a little bit farther if you've applied like a lot of heat to one area. So with Apex or any ceramic film, Apex in particular though, it's got an extra layer of ceramic, and ceramic holds heat. So it'll continue to shrink a little bit farther. So I would suggest just being a little bit more careful with your heat while you're shrinking it. Like I went through and I blitz shrunk a window and it was fine. But when you're doing like a windshield and you're shrinking against like a dryer sheet, you'll sometimes get like little micro impressions. So heat it up, let it cool down some, and then smooth it forward is going to give you like the best result. Where'd my shank go? Oh, it was in my tool belt. Okay, I thought I dropped it somewhere. Okay, so we got one more quarter window, and then we're gonna do the back window. How do you feel about double tint? I mean, we got darker tint now, so we have a 2% that we can install. Solar Effects just released a 1%. And I've heard of somebody had a 0%. Oh yeah, the film's right here. So you can pretty much go as dark as you want now without having to double tint. I'm doing a Durango this weekend. Anything special to look out for? Yes, the front doors. 100% pop the seals on the front doors. It's really easy to do. This is no joke, and I'm not going to do it on this. You can take your knee, you can put it against, here. You take your knee, you put it here, you roll the window down, grab this, and go. And there's this push pin that'll make a loud popping sound, but I'm telling you that's how you do it. And they'll snap back in really easily. There's probably some videos on it. And then once you have that panel just pop back, seal comes right out. It's so easy, I know how to do it. That's how easy that one is. But on Durangos, you have this type of speaker. And then that's got a wire that goes right down to a module. So I had a passenger door that I tinted, and next thing I knew, the lights started going on and off, and other weird things started happening and stopped working for a little while. And thankfully, I was at a shop where they disassembled the door, took out the module, we dried it out, everything was okay. But I have ever since been popping the seals on those. And then it's a Durango, so just make sure you have a towel tucked into the dash. Any 300, Durango, Charger, Challenger, they put BCMs in really bad spots. So just be extra careful if you're doing the windshield. Any of those vehicles. I have a Porsche Cayenne this weekend, front doors. Anything that I should know? No. Not that I know of. Because I don't think I've tinted any recent Cayennes. So I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen anything, though. I had a Macan. And you know what? So this was at the glass shop. They brought it in, set of doors, thought it'd be no big deal. 2 front doors. It had pretty big quarter windows on it. I screwed those suckers up 4 or 5 times, and I ran out of time, and I had to turn the car away. And I said, I can't, I'm not interested in doing this. It's like one of the only cars I've ever turned away, and I didn't want to see it again. Quarter windows were just a pain in the butt, and it was just in a shop that it would have taken, I would have made maybe $60 to $80 on that set of doors, and it would have taken me way too long. And I'm like, I'm not interested in this. No, thank you. This guy's the king of window tint. Now when you turn that shit away. But I'll have those cars, they'll kick my butt. I get a lot of this stuff, though. New vehicles, all kind of within a particular range and difficulty level. I don't get too many things outside of that range. So yeah, I had a C6 Corvette not too terribly long ago. That was a long day. I swear that was the cleanest car that I ever tinted, though. Took a few tries on the doors just to make sure that they turned out awesome, and then luckily I got the back window done in one shot. What's the tint that you can just slap on and peel off? Oh, it's like a film that's on plexi, or maybe now they're actually they have factory tinted plexi, and they're just pre-cutting it with like window tint software. But it's not the same. It's really not. I don't hate it. I think the idea is pretty cool. Like, baby shades are a thing. Like, for kids, right? So, like, a temporary thing that you can put up. It's just the way that they're selling it is they're trying to sell it in the most, like, eye-popping, TikTok-y way possible. So, I'd say it's probably a little misleading. It's not going to look the same. If you want your glass to look nice and tinted, then you actually have to take a piece of film and glue it to the window and like seal it all in. Otherwise, it's just not going to look as black. It's not going to look as clean. You'll see there's something there. I don't think I've ever seen a faster tinter. You haven't seen many tinters, my guy. I mean, I'm the fastest and I'm the greatest. I can be faster, but I'm definitely nowhere near the fast. There's a video of a guy doing a car inside of a half an hour. And then, dude, look up Bestial window tint on YouTube. He's got a video of doing shrinking a Model 3 back window inside of 3 minutes. I walk around, I'll tell you, I talk a lot and I walk around a car way too much. Like right now, I'm looking for my back window squeegee. There we go. I think that's my biggest slowdown, is I just put tools down somewhere and I forget where I put them. And then I end up walking around a car 4 times. I can tint a car in 5 minutes, but it comes out terrible. I take 45 minutes per window. How can I be faster? I mean, it's hard to say just offhand because I didn't see you tint a window. There's a lot of things, though, I can guarantee you that you're doing that you don't necessarily need to do. Generally, it's over cleaning. Some people like scrape and scrub and squeegee a window like 5 times over. I saw a booble. I definitely clean it like 5 times. Yeah, you don't need to. You only need to really clean it like 1 time. But it'll start with cutting out steps that you think that you need. So like if you just lightly scrape a window, squeegee it off and tint it and see how it is, you'll get a really good job overall, as long as your installation was fairly straightforward. I like tinting these. I do too. We were gonna do the windshield, and then we went back and forth on it a couple times. He decided not to. I wasn't upset, and now that I drove it inside, it's like, oh, it's easier to get to than I thought. Like, it's super straightforward windshield. Usually, like, there's enough things in the way in a windshield on, like, a BMW or something that I'm like, yeah, I'm not really upset about not doing the windshield. But this one, I'm like, oh, yeah, that would have been really easy. What is some good quality tint? Well, I'm using GeoShield, and they're pretty good quality. Insta tints I can put on and peel off without any adhesive. I know. It's not the same thing. You're just not going to get the same look. That's all. It's like, would it look fine from the inside looking through? Probably. Would it look the same on the out? No. But it'll give you like a tinted effect. It's just not going to look the same. But that's not the idea. It's temporary. It's like, hey, I want my front, like if you're doing it on front two doors or whatever, you're worried about getting pulled over, fucking go for it. Have you ever done mobile tinting? Yeah, for like 5 years. I've got a different look on mobile tinting, though, from what I think most people think mobile tinting is. So, like, mobile tinting, going from house to house, and like you have to take care of everything. I think there's just so much time wasted. You have to pack up, drive somewhere, unpack, talk to the customer, figure out what you're gonna get, cut your film, like set up. You have to like completely set up. Oh, I should have removed this. I should have removed this before I even got it. Oh, does it have the buttons though? Oh wait, no it doesn't. Yes it does. It's got like those clips. Ooh, there's something. Hang on. Aha! They're little pull latches. I figured it out. Okay, I figured it out on one. I didn't figure it out on the other. I'm pulling it, but I'm not pulling it right. Damn it. I think they have it flipped, so it's really hard to get your finger in there to actually release it. Damn you, child seats. Hello again, still working on the E350? Yeah, because I'm so fast. Yep, right here. I wonder if we'll be able to get it. I got it. My buddy got a rear window tint kit, and when it came, the back window was cut in half horizontally. That sucks. Why do we have a big umbrella here? Scoot this out of the way. Move the seat up. Okay, good. What the hell is this? That looks like a fun thing to just spill all over the back. Concrete rings. These will pop down, right? Yes, they will. They absolutely will. Nope. Okay. Oh. Sorry. I'm not thinking rich enough. I'm looking for pull tabs. Fucking peasant. It's a Mercedes. What pull tabs? How much did you charge starting out tinting? I started working for a shop. So that's where I got my start. I'm gonna grab gonna grab one more towel and set that back here. And then we'll get this shrunk and installed. And then we're just gonna be careful about the back. Okay, why are you glowing on me? There we go. Oh, it's so quiet. That's the quietest trunk motor I've ever heard. What's a good budget to start with, like $200? T-View on Amazon, because you're going to be throwing a lot of it away. You're just practicing. So it's like $100 a roll. And just be prepared to throw that $200 in the trash. Okay. So let's get some film. Let's get our tool belt. Let's cut it out and actually install something. T-View is great. I got it for practice. Isn't it good? I don't know how long this shit's gonna last on a car. But like, it's just an easygoing dyed film. That's what you want. That's what you want really for practice. The thing is, like, you're gonna start looking for value. And so like 200 will get you a cheap roll of carbon. But cheap carbon doesn't shrink very easily. And learning how to shrink is hard enough on a good film. So I just see people get into that hang up. T-View has been going strong on a car for 3 years. Dang! There you go. Surprising. So it's a good film to practice shrinking? Yeah, T-View. Something that's cheap that shrinks well. Like any inexpensive dyed film is what you want to look for. The problem was, like, I was looking for one that we could put on the site. The problem is a lot of really cheap dyed films went away because more people are buying carbon because it's just, on paper, it's a better value. Why would I buy dyed film? Dyed film turns purple. Cheap dyed film turns purple. Carbon lasts forever. Carbon blocks heat. So everybody started buying carbon. What's the coolest car? Ooh. Maybe this is the first one that came to mind. I had some really good pictures of McLaren that I did. I had one day with Aston DBS and a McLaren. We just had somebody call yesterday that I think I have to call back about a Vanquish. Stuff like that always freaks me out a little bit, though. You're taking on, like, a scary amount of liability. So, like, while it's cool to have the car, and, like, yeah, I'm sure we can do it. It's just certain vehicles have very sensitive materials, and if they get wet, they will not look good anymore. And whatever it costs to replace that is going to be far more than whatever I'm charging them to tint it. I had a Range Rover in here, one of the newer ones. Holy shit. I was so mad at that car. It wasn't supposed to take that long. It took me like all freaking day for that one thing because everything was so water sensitive. having flashbacks right now. How does the H pattern to stick? Sometimes the vertical lines don't stick. Okay, so first scrub your window. 2, what dryer sheet are you using? Because if it's not Snuggle, then it's probably the wrong answer. Snuggle. Whoa, it is Snuggle. Okay, cool. You just always have to make sure that your sides, so like they can come loose a little bit, but so you lock it here in the middle, and then you want to make sure you flatten it out on the sides. Now, as you're shrinking it and carting stuff out, some stuff will go out the side edges, but you always just have to make sure you flatten these. You want to make sure that your sides are not cut much wider than the side edge here, because if it's rolled up on some type of molding, well, the molding is keeping it from laying flat. But the only other things that I can think of that would keep the sides from not sticking super well is like if the glass wasn't cleaned super well, so there might be an overspray, but it'd have to be a pretty obvious gritty overspray. But you can also take some water. Take water, just put it on your hand, lift the film, and do this, and then lay the film back on, and it'll grab the water a lot better than it'll grab the dryer sheet. Sometimes I spritz a little bit of water to help hold for dry shrinking. Yes. I watch your videos, of course, I use Snuggle. Okay, cool. Yeah, if we're on the same page, then it gets harder and harder to like figure out what the issue is. If you can take a video and post it in the group, that's a lot easier to kind of figure out what's going on. Because like I do the same thing on like every car. Doesn't matter if it's an old car or new car, just scrub down the back window, squeegee it off, dryer sheet it. And at least with the films that I use, I mean, I never have to really do anything else. So the only thing that's going to make it like pop up is dirt on the sides or too much tension. So if you're like over shrinking and then like you get a finger here and you hit it with some heat, you have to make sure your sides are always flat. If you hit this with heat, it's going to start curling up off the sides and it's never going to lay flat anymore because you just like shrunk the side. And film doesn't like that. It'll like curl inwards. Is this Apex? No, this is C2 Ceramic. Will there ever be a film that requires no shrinking? I saw a brief TikTok about it.
How do I remove most of the
There
water
probably will be.
in? I do like 3 passes with pressure.
I mean, I hear people talking about a dry PPF. I wish we could install tint like PPF and just stretch it out over the window. That might be a thing. But here's the only annoying thing about all that. The easier that installation gets, everything is going to get cheaper. If it's easy for everybody to install and do, we're no longer valuable and bye-bye jobs. So, yeah. So if you can spray a window and just squeegee it out and then it's tinted, you better look for another career because you can bet prices will go from $300 down to like $100 to tint a car, and that'll just be the norm, and it'll be done in like 10 minutes. Anything that becomes easy gets stripped out really, really fast. Keep it a trade secret. Yeah, that doesn't happen. It'll just be in a TikTok video. Manufacturers will put it up there. Install tint at home. Here's a pre-cut. Stretch it out on your window. Boom, done. Call it a day. Do you think tinting will stay around for a long time? I mean, I feel like it will. Some things that I like, when car companies were looking into more of doing like cars as a subscription, so like where you just rented it, like BMW was talking about that for a little while, and then self-driving stuff. So like, not for a long time at this point. Not with the way things are, but eventually, I could see where, you know, if everybody is it's just cheaper to summon a car and they're everywhere, and you don't actually own the car, you just summon it, and it pulls up, takes you where you need to go, and it's incredibly efficient and cheap. Well, then nobody's gonna get those tinted, but you always have like a collector's market for vehicles where it's like nice to have one and make it look nice. Until you can get remote tint glass. I'd see that less of a thing because it's expensive. I mean, maybe eventually it'll get cheaper, like cheap, but it's proven so far to be like really expensive. And they've put collision avoidance systems and stuff in the glass, or like in the windshields, like they got those systems. So that already made windshield replacements like really expensive. I don't see them adding like another like self-tinting, especially with like road legality. They're not going to do it. But tint right now is still challenging enough for anybody to just do. So it takes a certain level of patience, takes a certain level of skill, and it takes a certain setup. But as soon as all that stuff gets kind of stripped away and anybody can do it in more places where it becomes like far easier to do, then the price just comes down. How about transitions, like glasses? I bought some tint that does it. I didn't like it. I think the idea was cool, but I think maybe just slow down the transition a lot. It was actually too fast. So, as I rounded a corner, like, so if my driver's door was in the sun and I round a corner, then it would fade, like, really quickly to like, be clear. So I'm, like, watching my windows constantly get darker and lighter, and then a shadow from like the mirror was on the window, and then that creates like a whole effect. So then it's like there's this area here that has a shadow on it, then the shadow's moving and this area is lighter and everything else around it is darker. It was just like, yeah, it was weird. Okay, so this what back window tool? Ooh, we got two. We got these. We got the jabbers. These are from Fusion. Fusion sent me these. I think they're gonna be like I just put in an order. I don't know if any stores have them yet, but they will very soon. So I'm taking those in there. Can somebody tell me what the purpose of the dryer sheet is? So the dryer sheet, it acts like a tack surface. It's a wax, but it helps grab the film. So you want it to anchor down as you're shrinking. So as I take a card and smooth it onto the glass, I'm looking for the glass to grab it and hold it there. And just a dryer sheet wax is like a perfect type of medium to do that. Yeah, anchor it down without water. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of saying it. I don't know why I never thought to say it like that. So I can literally just anchor it down without spraying water on it. I placed a GeoShield order on your site. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so this one is a copy of the Bulldozer with a little bit of a stiffer blade. And I don't know if that's a good thing yet. Huh. Hang on, let me go grab the Bulldozer. This is what I've been using for years. It's called the Bulldozer. It's literally a copy. Like same handle, same shape, same size, same dimensions here, same rubber, or not same rubber, that's what I'm noticing. This is a little softer, this is a little harder. So I want to do that again real quick and just squeegee with this. No, it still slides well. I thought there might be a sliding difference, but both of them with a little spray, both slide fine. Then this one doesn't have a rubber blade. This has plastic and they put Teflon tape on it. I feel like people will like this one. I wish it had a rubber blade instead though, but I think people are still gonna like it. I typically don't like plastic edged back window tools. The plastic never flexes quite as well, but that's a really sharp plastic with Teflon on it. So for trying to touch up like a small finger or something, it might be pretty good. Scratch my tint with that one. Oh, did you get them already? All right, so let's start with this. I learned everything from you, and I've been in business for a year and some change now. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Congrats, dude. Just the plastic edge. Interesting. Okay, 1 second. Had to lean in there. The Bulldozer, I think, is going to the Bulldozer retails for like 22, 23. The Jabber retails for like 27. And they're like the same thing. So let's get this installed. Scratch was just moving too fast. Oh, okay. I would have preferred, like, I thought it was a mini Bulldozer. If they took that and just swapped out the plastic edge for the same type of rubber that's on the Bulldozer, I would have been, like, really enthusiastic about it. I still think it's probably going to be a good tool. Yep, we'll be done in just a couple minutes. Any visual difference between C2 carbon and C2 ceramic? No, not really. they're both the same type of base film. The ceramic just has a added ceramic layer. The coloring and everything's going to be very similar. Let me make sure that we're all the way tucked down before I squeegee that out. Okay, looking good. So, like, I think using that exactly for what I just used it for, I like that. I'm not going to consider it quite a squeegee, but either as a touch-up tool or a way to just reach into a tighter area with that paddle squeegee. I like that. I think that's cool. Because it's less likely to get stuck. Little things. I think that's actually going to be really cool. Yeah, those are new. Yep. I get it. It's good. I went from being really unsure about it to liking it a lot in like 2 seconds. It's actually going to make me look at... Like, I like the size of it, too. I like that it's not overly wide. I like that it's little. We've needed, like, a little bulldozer for a long time. I still wish it had... There was a version with, like, a rubber blade on it. Bulldozers are just annoying to ship. They're, like, such an awkward size. They're weird to ship. They needed a slimmer one that fits in like a tint box, but not just for that. It's just like a slimmer profile so it can fit into like tighter edges and stuff. But so far, this is a really good back window to test that out on. Because you have the deck lid. I'll show you in a sec. You have the deck lid in the way, and you have this interesting third brake light cutout that dips down. So it's like I'll either take a tail fin or a bulldozer and I'll put it in here anyways, and that's what I did. But to be able to make sure the film kind of like... Sometimes a rubber squeegee gets stuck if you tuck it too far in, where this... I'll show ya. This will get down here with like really, really easily, and I don't feel like I'm stressing anything out. I like that. That's nice. So I don't think it'll quite be like as good of a squeegee blade as a squeegee blade, because it's like, when I say that, what I mean is squeegee blades, they're rubber or whatever they are, and they kind of mold and flex to the window in a finer way than an actual plastic hard-edged blade does. I think, yep. I'll do some more testing. The bulldozer edge is softer. This one is harder. So that means it's not gonna flex to the window quite as well. So I think I'm going to use the back jabber. The little one, like this one, the junior jabber. And then probably a bulldozer still. Just first impressions. I'll use them more. Can they Teflon tape rubber? I don't see, like, yeah, but I don't see a reason to. How are you liking the clay sponge to clean windows? I like them a lot. They seem to hold. Like, it's something easier to hold on to, and you get, like, a similar clay. What I'm a little unsure of is, after I've done, like, 3 or 4 cars, how well is that clay still scrubbing? Because I can't, like, mash it and clean it the same way. But you can feel a grippiness to it as you're cleaning. Hello.
Can I see the message?
Yes, right through there. Yep, that back corner. Almost done. Any advice for Dodge Charger rear windows? Ooh, Chargers are tough. Chargers are tough. You got new microfibers? Yeah, I like these ones a lot. You can kind of... They leave less fibers behind, especially when they're a little wet. Where will those new orange ones be sold? We're going to get them on 313 Tint pretty soon here. I'm sure GeoShield's going to sell them too. But I just got in my own yesterday. Like, those are my samples. And so I just put in an order yesterday. So they'll probably be in stock in our store, I don't know, in probably a week. Hopefully they just get shipped out quick. But if they're backed up on orders from people, it'll take a little bit longer. What % tint do you recommend to where it's dark but still able to see through at night? 20%. 20 is a really nice shade. Gives you a good amount of shade. Nice like silhouette private during the daytime. But not too dark down most driving conditions. Okay, so we gotta put the headrest back in. We gotta put the seat back, and then this one will be all set to go. This. How do you like GeoShield versus Lexan? I like GeoShield way better. Should I apply to a tint shop? It's if you can get people to help teach you, it's always an easier road because you can talk to experienced people. There's a lot of value in that. Not all shops are gonna be able to hire and teach people though. So it's worth poking around and seeing if you can find something. How much to get the front two done on a Ram? Ram would start at $120 for the front doors. Oh, I think I see why this one was upside down. There we go. That's locked back in. Good deal. This was here. We'll leave that there. That was there. I feel like a shop would fire you when they see you're in business for yourself. Well, yeah, most likely. I don't know. Mark does software, and he just got a shop. I didn't fire him. I gotta put this down. This was just down here. I'm just gonna set that down there. That's where it was. Then we're gonna take some tape up some switches. Can you do it now? I'm in Troy. Front doors on a Ram? Yeah? Yeah, if you just want to bring it down. I'm wrapping this one up so I can get it in. I don't have anything scheduled after this one, so good timing. Why did it do that? Silly tape. That looks pretty good though. I like that. We gotta make sure that the child lock is on. Oh, key's not in it. I just make sure I do that on the way out. I always let the customers install the car seats. I usually do too. I'm more familiar with car seats, but I agree. I did 30. I need one more nice towel. Are they all packed? They are all packed. I'm gonna grab one of these. First live stream booking? No. But we don't get many like that are just like, hey, I'm over here. Can I get it tinted now? It's usually like call and set up an appointment, but literally front doors right now since we're wrapping up. And yeah, good timing. Which type of film is best to block heat? Ceramic. And 2 layers of ceramic is better than 1. What do you think about the new software? Whose software? Oh, Disruptive. I haven't tried it. I don't know. Software is just tough. It has nothing to do with Autobahn or anything. I think it's just a really challenging thing when you're like, when you're not the software company. And so like it's not theirs. They're working with, they're white labeling it, and they're working with the company that has the software. So it's like they're very much involved. But patterns are tough. So I don't know. They're claiming that pattern adjustment will be really quick and easy and whatever. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't doubt that they're going to put in a good effort for it. We'll just see. Like, I think it's a super challenging thing. I think if you're not the ones that are cutting patterns and not verifying that those patterns fit, you have a hell of a time modifying patterns. 5580 Gatewood? Yes, we're around the rear corner of the building. Detroit Tint Studio. Sweet. This one looks great. I like it. I'm going to wipe off his windshield too. They're waiting up front. So we'll do that. Sign off here, cash them out. Looks like we'll do a set of doors. Why so many Russians? I genuinely, I don't know. Get a customer reaction. Did you forget around the paint around the back window? Oh, all that? I don't want to wipe down all the panels. All down the sides and everything. Like you're talking all over the place. They can take it through a car wash at that point. Alrighty. What software do you use to translate the Russian? I'm not responding because I don't have it. It would be great though. You could totally have an AI just read you in English. Somebody's just got to slap all the pieces together to make it work. Well, there we go. Turned out nice. Looks really, really good. I think they'll be happy with this. All right. Thank you for hanging out. I will see everybody later. Bye. Did you forget a seat cover? No, I'm gonna sit in it when I pull it out, and then I'll take off the seat cover.